Yes. Hello everyone. This is Sej Kashyap. Today I am going to explain you the state government part 3. In part 1 and part 2 we have explained you the different terms. Okay, that I have explained you state legislature, how the laws are made. We have all explained you in the part 2. This is part 3 and it is the continuation of the chapter, that is state executive. This is the second organ of the state government. Yes, then let's see what are these functions and what are these powers. State executive implements the laws. What does the implements? What does the word implement show here? Implements means changes. Yeah, the laws that are made by the legislature, they make the changes in that. They are made by the state legislature. Yeah, the laws that are made by the state legislature, in that state executive implements it according to the need. The state executive compromises the chief minister, council of ministers and the governor. So whenever we are talking about the state executive, three persons are mostly involved in this. That is the chief minister, council of ministers and the governor. So these three members are the main persons which are involved in the implementing the laws. It's clear? Yes. Now move on to the chief minister. Let us see what this chief minister is and what role he plays and what are his responsibilities also. So let's see. Chief minister, the members of the ruling party elect a leader from among themselves. Okay, so who becomes the chief minister? The same person who is elected among the members, he is known as the chief minister. This person is the most important member of the state executive. Yeah, he is said to be the most important member of the state executive. He has certain functions. Let us his functions. He is responsible for the working of the government in a state. Yeah, whole work is done by him only. He is the in charge. He is working of the government in a state. Next one, he is the leader of the council of ministers. Yeah, who is called council of ministers? A group of ministers. Group of ministers, from among the group of ministers, he is called the leader. Third point, he or she selects other ministers of the state also. Yeah, this much power also he is having. He can select other ministers of a state and allocates. What's the meaning of allocate? Distributes. He distributes the portfolios. What's the meaning of portfolios? Means charges. Different responsibilities he is giving to the different ministers of a state. For example, like home minister, defense minister, railway minister, all these are the different charges which are given by the chief minister. Okay, it is also one of his responsibility. Next one, he or she presides over cabinet meetings. He holds the meetings also. Yeah. Then he cooperates the support. He supports the working of various ministries. Yeah, if they require the help, so he and she is responsible for the variations working departments also. He is giving the help. Next one, the last point is that he and she checks properly. Supervisors, what is the meaning of supervisors? Checks properly the administration of a state. So these are some of the simple functions of the chief minister. Hope I think you have understood. Okay, now we are going to on the next part, that is, let us see what is this. Next one, come on to the next portion, that is the fact box. These fact box are very important, students, so please pay attention on your fact box. Please attention on your fact box. Okay. Okay, so these fact boxes are very important to us. So please don't ignore these fact boxes. Let's see what is written in this. Jyoti Basu was the longest serving chief minister of any state. And which state? Longing serving means for a long period of time. And he was the chief minister of West Bengal. or you just can't know? He was the chief minister from 1977, yeah, to 2000, complete 23 years. He was the chief minister of West Bengal. That means a very long period of time. So please everyone underline and write everyone, very important also. Okay, yes. Now come on to the next one, the Council of Ministers. Council of Ministers. Let's see what are these Council of Ministers. Council of Ministers means a group of ministers. I have told you who is the head of this. The Chief Minister is the head of this. Yeah. The Chief Minister is helped by a Council of Ministers. Whenever they are in need of them, the minister used to help him. Who looks after the administration of a state. Chief Minister is responsible for the administration of a state. The different ministers are in charge of various government departments. Yeah, different portfolios, different responsibilities are given to different ministers. And whose responsibility is this? It is the responsibility of the chief minister to give the charge for the different ministers. Okay, so in a state there is a finance minister, home minister, power minister, education minister, and many other ministers, as I have told you. Okay, sometimes the Council of Ministers also advises the governor also. Yeah, if it is need, then if they are in need, only then. Okay, so now have you understood how much important role the chief minister used to play here? Okay, next come here. The Council of Ministers is collectively responsible for the state legislature. Yeah, these group of ministers are collectively means by the group manner. They are responsible for the legislature. Let's see how. If the state legislature is not confident about working of any one particular minister, if any one minister is not working according to the chief minister, or if any mistake is done by any single minister, suppose if any minister has committed any mistake, okay, that means that mistake will be committed by the Council of Ministers. Everyone is responsible for that mistake. Are you getting what I'm saying? So that is known as collective responsibility. That is known as collective responsibility. So if the state legislature is not confident about working about one particular minister belonging to the Council of Ministers, so what can they do if they are not having confident? Okay, no non-confident motion against him can be passed in the Vidhan Sabha. So what happens? That minister can be removed from the post if any mistake is done by any of the members of the state legislature. Okay, that means work is to be done very carefully. Work is to be done very carefully. Okay, so if the government loses the motion, the entire Council of Ministers has to resign. Means if one person is committing the mistake, that means everyone has to be resigned. Clear? Similarly, if the chief minister resigns, the entire Council of Ministers has to be resigned too. Means every person, even the Council of Ministers has to be resigned soon. Okay? Okay, now come on to the next one. Next person of the state legislative executive. Let's see what is this person. He is governor. I have told you one point of the governor. Unless the bill is not signed by the governor, it will not become a law. Have you remember about this point? Yes. So governor also play a very important role in the state executive. Yeah, every state in India has a governor. Yeah, every state in India has a governor who is appointed by the president, and this governor is appointed by the president, and for the period of 5 years. Yeah, he is completely elected by the president for the period of 5 years. Governors are appointed in a state. Yes, governors are appointed only for the state. Are you getting? Understand very carefully. Governors are only appointed for the state only, while lieutenant governors are in charge of the union territory and the national territory of Delhi. So can I repeat once more? Governors are only appointed for the state and lieutenant governors are responsible for the charge of union territory. Have you got it? I think now it is clear to everyone. Okay, now let us see. To become a governor, a person must be 35 years of age and citizen of India. The first and foremost thing is that he should belong to the citizen of India. Yesterday only I clear you that any outsider cannot become the member of anything. First of all, it is compulsory that he should belong to the citizen of India. He or she cannot be the member of the parliament or the state legislature or hold any kind of office, government office of India. He should not have any connection with the government job. Okay? Yes. So now come on to the functions of the governor. Functions of the governor. As I told you already, this full chapter is based upon the functions powers. So let's see what are the functions of a governor. The administration of a state is carried out in the name of the governor. Yeah, the administration of a state is carried out in the name of a governor. Yes. Now I am turning the page. Now I am going on page number 266. So please everyone turn the page. Yes. Have you got it now? I think it is clear to you now. Page is clear to everyone? Yes. Now come on to that. Yes. Let us see here. Okay. Now let us see. Governor is the nominal head of the state, where the real power lies with the chief minister. He is only the nominal head. What is called nominal head? Nominal means only the name is office. But the real power lies in the hand of the chief minister and the council of ministers. Got it everyone? Everyone understood here? He is only the nominal head of that. Okay? Yes. Now come on to some of the functions. The governor appoints the chief minister and the council of ministers. Very simple. What the government does? Governor does. He appoints the chief minister and the council of ministers. Next one, the government distributes portfolios. I have already cleared you. What is portfolios? Charges. What is this? Charges to the council of ministers on the advice of the chief minister. Who is distributing these charges? Who is distributing these charges? The governor. And on the advice of whom? On the advice of the chief minister. Okay everyone? So, next one, come on to the third point. Come on to the third point everyone. He also appoints the advocate general. See, how many people he is appointing? He appoints the advocate general, the judges of the district courts, and the chairman and members of the State Public Service Commission. All these persons are appointed by the governor itself. The president consults the governor in the appointment of judges of the high courts. Yeah, one confusion is there. If the governor is having any kind of doubts while appointing the judges, so he can consult to the president also. Okay? Yes. Now come on to the next one. That is the governor summons. What is called summons? Summons means he starts. He starts and ends the session of both houses of the state legislature. Yes, whatever. He just starts the meetings and he ends the meetings also. Session is called the meeting of both houses of the state legislature. That is Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Okay, next one. The governor inaugurates What is called inaugurates? Adds. He add the other people also. The governor inaugurates, adding the new people to the state legislature after the assembly elections, and also addresses the first session every year. He adds also, he addresses also. Addresses means to explain the first session every year. Everything he used to explain to the people of the state executive. Okay? The governor's speech on these occasions generally outlines the new policies to the state government. Okay? So he also addresses to every person. He also introduces the new policies of the state government. Okay? Yes. Now come on to the next one, which I have already told you. The governor can return a bill to the state legislature for consideration, means for suggestions. A bill passed by the state legislature can become a law only after the governor sign it. Very simple. In the full this paragraph, only one thing is given to you. That is that the bill becomes a law only when the governor assent. Assent means only when the governor sign it. Otherwise we can say that only when the governor gives permission. Okay. Next one. When the state legislature is not in the session. Yeah, when it is not in the power and the governor considers it necessary to pass a law. Yes, when the legislature is not in the power or at that time it is very necessary to pass a law in the absence of the state legislature. So what can the governor can do? He or she can then issue an ordinance. Ordinance, what is called ordinance? Special laws. What are called ordinance? Special laws. Special laws which are passed in the absence of the state legislature. Okay, so these ordinances have to be submitted to the state legislature for approval in the next session. Okay, obviously, if the state legislature is absent, okay, we are not worried about that. But in the absence, we have to take any kind of action. Okay, so in that what we are taking the action? That means the state governor used to pass the laws, and those are known as special laws. Those are known as special laws. And after passing these laws, we have to submit to the state legislature for approval. Approval for his permission. For he should also know about that. Okay, everyone. But in the next session means next meeting. Clear? Means he should also have the knowledge कि in my absence what laws are passed. I think it is clear to you? Yes. Now comes the money bills. Two bills are there. One is ordinary bill and one is money bill. Money bill can be only introduced in the state assembly. Only on the peer recommendations of the governor. Peer very strict. Yeah, money bills can be introduced in the state legislative assembly only. Only means it is not introduced anywhere else. Only in state legislative assembly. That is known as Vidhan Parishad. Yes, next one. The governor has the power to nominate certain members. Yeah, governor can also have the power to select certain members to the state legislature. If the state is bicameral, if they are having two houses in the state, that is Vidhan Sabha and Vidhan Parishad. These nominees are famous people for the fields of, and whatever nominees who are called nominees, who are nominated by the governor, these are known as nominees, and they are famous people for in the field of art, science, literature, cooperative movements and social services. So they should be expert in all these things. He or she can nominate only one member in the state legislative assembly. Yeah, the governor from the Anglo-Indian community. You know what is Anglo-Indian? Means if he has taken the birth in India or for higher studies he have gone to any foreign country, that means we can say that person as a Anglo-Indian. Means he should belong to India also, he should be the citizen of India also, and he should have a something view of other countries also. So such like a person is known as Anglo-Indian. If he feels that they do not have enough representative if the governor feels that if they don't have enough representative, so he can just appoint it also. Appoint it. Okay, everyone? I think up to here everyone is clear. Everyone is clear. I hope till here. I hope you don't have any kind of doubt, students, because in which manner I am explaining to you, it's very simple. If you will pay attention on my explanation, so I think anything will not be difficult for you. Now come on to the discriminatory powers. Discriminatory powers. In certain special circumstances, in situations, special situations, what are known as circumstances? Situations. Situations. The governor has the authority to exercise his special powers. Yeah, special powers. And these special powers are known as discretionary powers. Independently, okay, without consulting the chief minister. No need to consult with the chief minister also. Yes, under special situations, the governor can pass the laws, special powers. And these special powers are known as discretionary powers. And he can pass these. He can pass this without any kind of worriness. Independently. Without consulting with the chief minister. Okay, for example, the governor uses discretionary powers to appoint a chief minister when no party gets a clear majority after the assembly elections. One example is already given to you. So, no need to understand so much. Only just whatever is written here. Yes, the special powers, discretionary powers you have to understood. Not more than that. Okay, now come on to Advocate General. Advocate General, each state has an advocate. I have already cleared you. Each state has an Advocate General appointed by the governor. And Advocate General is appointed by whom? He is appointed by the governor to perform various legal functions. To perform various legal functions. Okay? Okay. So, Advocate General, and this Advocate General is appointed by the governor to perform various legal functions. Yeah. She advises the state executive on various legal matters. A person should be qualified to be a high court judge. Let's see, for becoming the Advocate General, what qualification we have to do. A person qualified to be a high court judge can be appointed as an Advocate General. Yeah, this is the point you can underline very properly. Yes. With he or she can take part in the proceedings also. Proceedings means meetings. If she does not have the right to vote on any issue regarding the bills. So these are some of the points on which we have to focus. If she does not have the right to vote on any particular issue, they can consult to the Advocate General also. Advocate General also. I hope you have understood about the Advocate General. Yes. Now come on to Administration of Union Territories. Yes. Can you tell me? You don't tell. I will only tell. Okay? Because Administration of Union Territory, who's in charge of this? The Union Territory is administered by a Lieutenant Governor. Yeah. Or while we talk about the state, then who is the in charge? Governor is the in charge. Or when we talk about the in charge of the Lieutenant by the Union Territory, he is known as the Lieutenant Governor. Or a Chief Commissioner also we can call him. We can call him as a Chief Commissioner also, who acts on the advice of the President of India. Yes, on the advice of the President of India, he used to act, take actions. He passed the laws of the Union Territory and oversees. What is the meaning of overseas? Check it. Check keenly. Check keenly its administration. Okay, so on the President of India he used to work, or he used to check his work very keenly. And what is the meaning of keenly? Deeply, very deeply. Okay, yes. Now one fact box is given to you, students. Everyone focus on this fact box. Puducherry is a union territory. Okay, but it has its own legislative assembly. and Council of Ministers. Very good. Yeah, even though it is a union territory, but it has the own legislative assembly and the Council of Ministers. If in an exam, it will if a question is asked to you, tell me the union territory name which have its own legislative assembly and Council of Ministers. What answer you give? You will give the answer of Puducherry. Okay? Yes. Now comes the civil services. The civil services. While the state legislature and the executive make laws, I think I have explained you about state legislature that makes the laws. Executive implements it, make the changes. The laws which are done by the state executive. The actual day-to-day administration of the state is carried out by the huge bureaucratic body called the civil services. But day-to-day production of the administration is carried out by whom? They are carried out by a huge bureaucratic body. Those are known as civil services. These bureaucratic bodies are known as civil services. Let's see what are these civil services. Some of these officials are appointed from the Indian Administrative Service, while some are directly recruited from the state level through State Public Service Commission examination. Up on which point I am moving? You know which point I am moving? I am moving on to the police inspectors. Yes, the third organ of the state government, that is judiciary. And judiciary is protected only by the police. And police is only maintaining law and order. Yes, and they are appointed by the IAS, that is known as Indian Administrative Service. Okay, and while some are directly recruited at the state level, directly appointed by the state level through State Public Service Commission examinations. They used to give the examination also. They are selected and they are for our protection. Okay? Yes. Next one. Come on to the last portion of that. Yes, very interesting. The civil services in a state are headed by the chief secretary, and these services are headed means taken by, look after by, headed by, look after by the chief secretary. Secretary is in charge of different departments work under him. They are further assisted by the deputy secretary, joint secretary, yes, under secretaries, directors, etc. On each district, the administration is headed by the district magistrate, that is known as DM. The full form of district magistrate is DM. So only one or two officers cannot able to take the in charge of the whole administration. So they are deputy secretaries, some joint secretaries, some under secretaries also, some directors, etc. So in each district we have the administration is headed by the DM also. He is overall in charge administration of a district. Every administration work is done by him only. So this was the chapter of the state government. Yeah, in which we have discussed about the three organs of the government. That is state legislature that makes the laws, state executive that implements the laws by the chief minister, governor and the council of ministers, and the last point was judiciary. The last organ was judiciary that maintains the law and order. I hope you have understood the full chapter. Yes. Thank you for listening me. Thank you so much.